Ladies and gentlemen, welcome and hello to another game of the 2019 AEW Space Cup playoffs. Today we've got a special treat, a game we've been anticipating. No, that's not the game. We are about to witness the game between Ormylar and Moonshield. Both are players that have a bit of fluctuation in their skill levels. So everything is possible here, even though Ormylar theoretically is expected to do better with seed number 6, and Moonshield with seed number 11 had a bit of a rough group stage and lost his game against Realm King. But if we remember back to that game, that kind of was because he got maybe too confident with picking Rebels. So there's a good chance that he has either adjusted his thinking about how to play the Rebel side, or maybe he's just going back to picking more Empire and just circumventing maybe his weakness on that side. So it's going to be interesting to see how he does play out the draft for this match, and whether Ormylar can take a peek at the games Moonshield and Realm King had, and can see what Realm King really did to beat Moonshield. Because if we looked at these games, it was apparent that Moonshield is not a bad player, right? He did some good movements, but on the macro scale he had some bad decisions. So let's hope for a close game where Moonshield improved his macro decisions and where Ormylar can give him a run for his money. And then we will finally know 2 more matchups, because the winner of Ormylar vs Moonshield will move on to the game against Verstianiki, who was the unlikely victor against the highly rated Cerns or Verni Tiger. That was quite the upset this game. Cerns dropped down to the lower bracket here, game number 12, which, as a matter of fact, will be the game in the lower bracket against the loser of game 8. So, game 8 being Ormylar vs Moonshield. One of those will have to go against Cerns in the lower bracket, which will be another exciting game to see if Cerns manages to bounce back, or if he just keeps on falling flat on his nose. Yeah. And the winner of this match will, as I said, move on up against Verstianiki, which will be another interesting matchup, because it will really determine whether the game against Cerns was just a one-time thing on the upper side of things, or whether he can confirm his form and move on into the later stages of the tournament. Remember, everyone that wins round 2 is already guaranteed 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think it's top 5, isn't it? Because only one player of the lower bracket will advance to the finals, and all of these 4 have a chance to move to the finals as well. So I think it's best of 5. Probably I'm just doing a big mistake in my thinking here. However, back to the game at hand. It's Ormylar vs Moonshield, and as far as I know, both players have already hosted their lobby, so there's nothing much to talk about. This is the first game and marks the halfway point in our round 1, which, as we all know, goes up until end of next Sunday, before the second round, consisting of round 2 of the upper bracket and losers round 1 of the lower bracket, will start on next Monday. We have blocks of 1 week each for each of the logical components of this tournament. So stay tuned for this game and for 4 more games in the first round to determine who will start out in the lower bracket and who will take its way ahead into round 2 of the upper bracket. It's Ormylar vs Moonshield. Let's hop into the game. So, quick check to have everything set up on my end. The overlay seems to be in order, and we can join their game and see what the draft may look like. We will, after the game, have a brief talk with both of these players to hear their thoughts about the game. But for now, let's just take a step back and see the bans. Remember, every one of these players, high seed Ormylar being the first, may ban 1 map out of the pool of 7 maps, which leaves 5 maps in the pool, who will be then drafted alternatingly. The player who doesn't draft the map will draft the side or faction. We have a Polos ban from Ormylar, the infamous map with all the nebula, and we have the Bothawui map ban from Moonshield. This is actually, I think, the ban he did in his game against Realm King as well, so he seems to really dislike this map. Which is interesting, because as far as I know, Bothawui was the most played map in the playoffs. So we have a pretty big discrepancy here between Moonshield's likings and like the average of the players. Good. In the first game, the lower seed player has the first chance to pick the map, and Moonshield goes for Naboo, one of his comfort maps, as far as I'm concerned. He played Naboo against Realm King in his match, while I don't think Naboo was played in the game Ormylar versus Superman, which I also casted, but bear with me, there was quite some time ago, and I think I'm gonna have a look after this game to see that draft. So I can be a bit more informed about what Ormylar did last time. Good. Naboo for Moonshield, just taking my notes here. And Rebel side for Ormylar. So it won't be a rematch, a one-to-one replay of the game versus Realm King for Moon, but he will be Empire this time. Let's see how this plays out. Good. This map is interesting for the Rebel player in that there is a huge nebula in the bottom left corner of the map, which is a iron nebula as a matter of fact, which means X-Wings don't get their shields in there. So it'll be exciting to see if Moonshield can take advantage of that, or whether Ormylar can use the superior speed of the X-Wings to ensure quick domination of the map. Both players seem to be ready. We have the higher seed player in Ormylar playing Rebels, so let's prepare the overlay and just hop into the game. Good luck to both. Okay, fingers crossed for no map loading glitch or anything, and here we go. I said go. Okay, Ormylar on the light blue side, starting with his X-Wings, going for the base mine and going down into the middle of the map. Mirror match for Moonshield, going to his base mine and going down to the middle of the map. None of these players tried for the sneaky play to move through the middle up here for a quick attack on the enemy base mine. Which I think so far we've seen in every game played on this map. Correct me if I'm wrong. Good. Ormylar here with the speed advantage, getting to the bottom right mine roughly at the same time than Moonshield. Let's see whether he checks this one or just flies down there. And Moonshield is just heavy on the attack on the nebula. This is his strong point. Oh, interesting maneuver here from Ormylar. He's waiting. Maybe he's anticipating Moonshield to drop a lot of fighters down there. But now he's flying. Okay. Maybe I called the ruse too early. Okay. Oh, Moonshield just waited here to bait Ormylar into building the mine, and it totally worked out. So we have a Moonshield mine up here who's being attacked by 2 X-Wings, and we have the Ormylar mine down there attacked by 2 TIE Fighters. So very even start for both players. Both, of course, own their base mine and probably their base mine upgrade. While in the nebula, the amount of TIE Fighters in here will make sure that Moonshield should win this engagement, which is important for the Empire player because, again, this is the strongest part of the map for the Empire units. The Empire mine has been destroyed, while the Rebel mine is soon to follow. One more pass by the TIE Fighters should do the deal, so still very even here. It got completed, so a few credits back into the pockets of Ormylar there. One more difference to note, while we watch the remainder of this dogfight here, is that Ormylar actually built a rocket turret, missile defense satellite, at his base mine. So it'll be interesting to see whether this can bring any good to him. Yeah, up here Ormylar did something a Rebel player should probably not do, and is dogfight a lot, and the result is clear to see. He lost a few of his X-Wings, and the force may be at the brink of being too small to control the map, but then again, with 5 he's probably okay. He can, with good maneuvering, claw back into this game. He's on a timer, however, because Moonshield just managed to build this mine down there and is moving over to the base mine of Ormylar. A little bit of evasive action here. So right now it's looking good for Moonshield. He has the stronger forces on the map and has map presence down there. Yeah, and Ormylar now is doing the right thing. He just can't leave the bottom right side of the map open, is moving down with his X-Wings to check for mines being built, and is abusing the fact that there is no turret here to safely attack the enemy base mine. Yeah, in fact, he even got there first. Just a second ago, I told that Moonshield was heavy on the enemy base mine, but as X-Wings are so strong in their attack in these numbers, this should be roughly equal in the time to destroy these mines. So, okay, interesting decision here. Ormylar thought like, okay, I'm gonna lose my base mine, I need to build another one. But look at that. Moonshield has the credits in his back pocket and is calling in all the units. Ormylar has the Pyrodog for a short amount of time. I'm not sure if that is enough to build something. And Ormylar also couldn't manage to attack the bottom mine that is being built by Moonshield. So now we have 2-0 mines, advantage for Moonshield, while the rebel mine is being built and should be completed in a second. But not stay alive for long. Okay, the rebel fighter blob, ooh, this is interesting, I'm going back to that in a moment. The rebel fighter blob is moving down there, of course, it needs to destroy that mine, so go there and do that. While the Pyrodog is still being contested by both players. Moonshield actually amassed enough fighters to try and take out the shields of the station, which he now does, and is doing the right move and attacking the supply dock, which will roughly halve the income of the station. The base mine of the rebel player is not being built. Ormylar has left this alone, and it's now looking really rough for him. The X-Wings are being attacked by all these TIE fighters. While they might get the mine to be destroyed, they probably will lose a few units, and he now opts to move away because he just can't afford it without mines on his own. Yeah, it's looking rough for Ormylar. Moonshield seems to have the first game in the bag, unless something miraculous happens. Moonshield building a second mine up there. One thing you as a viewer should always do, just because when I'm commentating and moving the camera at the same time, it's pretty hard to always be at the right time at the right place at the right time. So just always keep an eye on the minimap down there, where you can see mines being built, mines being attacked, like this. Good move by Ormylar there. And general unit movements. Yeah. I mean, what's the thing that Ormylar can do now? He can try to defend this with his X-Wings, but then again, Moonshield can just call for the dogfight if he does that. So it's a bit of a lose-lose situation here for Ormylar, while the TIE fighters are in such numbers that they can still attack the station. Ormylar really needs the next tech level up here to build anti-fighter units if he wants to do something there. Yeah. While Moonshield is building more and more mines, and these X-Wings, without their ability to move quicker by locking the S-foils, of course, in the nebula, take quite some time to destroy this mine. So, yeah, interesting. Looks like it's going to be a 1-0 for the lowest seed Moonshield. And with that, it's looking like it's not going to be a rush by the higher seed Ormylar, but it's going to be a good, hard-fought game. I mean, this game was by no means played badly by Ormylar or anything, yeah? I think his mistake was fighting too hard at the pirate base and losing too much fighters by that way, and being baited into building this one, which was a really good move by Moonshield, if you remember. But apart from that, yeah, just well played by Moonshield. Nothing really to say about Ormylar being like a worse player or anything, which leads us to exciting game 2 and 3 to follow. Yeah, Moonshield, of course, denying the enemy to build this one. Yeah, he seems to be at his A-game right now, just with map movements and his ability to predict what the enemy is doing. Just these little things, like having one TIE fighter just to deny the enemy from building the mine and coming back into the game. Just these little things add up in such a close and such a... how do I phrase that? In a game that very much relies on the little things that you do to gain an advantage. Yeah. Ormy has not given up, spilling a mine, and I mean, that could work. If Moonshield does not check it, it can probably be built and completed.
Enemy space station has been upgraded.
But we shall now see the GG, I think. Maybe Ormylar plays it out. But with tech level 2 on Moonshield's side, it's really, really hard for Ormylar to get into the game. I mean, he doesn't have the money to tech up right now, I think, with the mine being built. And the mine will take a lot of time until it gets the 2000 credits that is teching up. Yeah. 2000 credits It's a lot. Um, it's mainly the reason why we see a Tech 2 game on very few of the games. The other reason, of course, being the time it takes to level up your space station while you can't really build any units. Yeah. As you know, we are planning to think about small, little balance adjustments based on the data we gather from this tournament. And even something like, there's the GG, even something like a 200 credit discount for the station upgrade could be something we might consider. And there's the victory for Moonshield, GG. Low seed score 1, high seed score 0. I'm still not really sure why it's not centered with the numbers there. Gonna have a look at that at some point later. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna switch over to my desktop. You won't see anything of that, I'm afraid, and have a look at the game between Ormylar and Superman to see what they drafted in their game. So bear with me there for a second. I'm gonna read it out for you. On the Empire at War community Discord, we have a hidden channel for all the tournament participants where they post their draft protocols and their screenshots of the victories or defeats, so that everything has is going according to like what really happened, and that we have all the data afterwards. Good. Where are we? We are Carson versus Will. Carson Sir Roberts. My game. Superman Ormilar. Okay, let's have a look here. Ormilar banned Geonosis in that game, and he picked Endor, he picked Empire on Castle, and he picked Bothawi, which is banned in this game. So maybe this is another reason why Moonshield banned Bothawi, because he knows that Ormilar likes this map. And Ormilar actually won. No, he didn't. Bothawi was the loss. Okay, interesting. So, Ormylar won as Empire mainly. Yeah, and he had a Rebel win on Endor. So Endor, Ormylar won as Rebel and as Empire, which is probably a thing to consider. Maybe we'll see the Ormylar map pick Endor in one of the next games, like in the second game, because High Seed has picked in the second game. So, back into the game. Let's hop in and see what they are drafting. I'm excited for the next game, because now Ormylar really has to step up. He now knows that his opponent maybe sold himself a bit underneath his real worth in the game before. And it's not Endor, but it's Castle for Ormylar, which leaves Moonshield now to pick the faction. Castle is, in my opinion, a map that is a bit more rebel-sided, but that is maybe not true in all skill brackets. And not for all players. I mean, it's just whether you are very comfortable with Rebels or not. And Moonshield is going to pick Empire. So the thing I said before with him picking Rebels all the time against Realm King and losing that match up maybe led to him now more leaning towards the Empire side. Yeah. Which only shows like how much drafting is a part of the actual matchup. Yeah. You can't just pick whatever and try to win if you play against an opponent who is pretty much at the same level, more or less, than you are, depending on like the form you have today, like whether you're tired or not, whether you had any recent playtime for your mechanical abilities and stuff like that. But you have to really think about what to draft, and I think this will only get a heavier emphasis the further we go along into the tournament. If only simply because of the reason that there are more maps being played, more games being played, and more data just you can get from your opponent on what maps does he like, how does he play the factions. You can watch the replays, and there's more you can do to prepare for your games. So I'm only expecting the games to get better and more exciting, and maybe even see some specifically crafted like strategies to counter what a specific player is doing. Hopefully we as a spectator can spot that when it happens. Yeah, but for now we have a 1-0 lead for the low C player Moonshield and are ready to hop into the second game on Castle. No Nebula here that Moonshield can abuse, but still the Empire ability to spam the map in the early portions of the game is intact. We have a pirate dog on the right side of the map, just in front of that castle blob up there. And with that, I think I should change my overlay and just tell them good luck, have fun. No bug today. Let's go. Again, Ormylar on the light blue side with the rebels. He's going for both of his outer mines. Same thing that Moonshield is doing. Again, both players looking to play a rather similar strategy. Of course, rebel units quicker there at the sides to take over the mines. Which is actually an interesting characteristic of this map, that it is only roughly symmetrical, but not exactly, which is a big part in the balancing of this game. Seems like Moonshield again was trying to do a little bit of a bait here by not showing initially, but Ormylar now doesn't fall for it. So, bait mines being built, and sneaky Moonshield building the middle mine, as soon as he knows that Ormylar doesn't have vision there. Good move there. Doesn't seem to be detected. Small skirmish at the Empire deck, of course. No one wants to concede it too early. And both players doing the same thing and attacking the enemy mines. Ormylar seems to be able to destroy the mine almost before it is done, but with this pass he should destroy it. And there it goes. Let's have a look over there. Of course, Empire with the weaker DPS takes a bit longer. Moonshield, use your units. And with that completed, Ormylar, of course, has free time to move over there and maybe build the pad over there. Moonshield now, however, arrived at the second mine of Ormylar, so Ormylar now has to be quick about the enemy mines because soon he will have 0 mines, while Moonshield's other base mine is still untouched. Yeah, these X-Wings don't have their asphalts locked, now they do. Bit of a swerve move here to remove some of the fighter damage, and you probably saw it on the minimap. First mine destroyed, middle mine going down, bottom mine going down. So the map is being rid of all the mines, but again Moonshield has 1 more mine, which is enough money to keep the fighter stream coming. Only 300 credits for each of those. We remember a mine generates 5 credits per second, so that is 1 fighter per 60 seconds just from that mine alone, and of course you have base income too. Ormylar is now moving over, just one by one attacking the mines, while Moonshield can really punish the intention of Ormylar to do the dogfight here and use his income to attack the enemy fighters in the dogfight. Some funny stuff going on over there with the TIE fighters, okay? I don't think I've ever seen TIE fighters as quick. Nice. Yeah. Another interesting thing to note down here is that Moonshield is again just waiting in the fog of war for Ormylar to do the mistake and build this one. Something we've seen in the last game too. Seems to be a bit of the style of Moonshield when playing Empire, just to bait the rebel player into building stuff and keep sentries everywhere. And he now even has enough money to try and defend this. Good. Moonshield opting not to build this mine, but rather hide. Okay, so that just means he doesn't really know where Ormylar is. Yeah, I mean we see everything, but the players of course don't. And Ormylar here actually did build the mine. Moonshield got wind of it. Is there something you can say? I don't know. Yeah. And again, after the initial clashes, the game is moving a little bit into the favor of Moonshield, who's able to hold that 1 mine advantage against Ormylar, who abandons the mine in build-up here. Not sure why. because he thinks this blob is enough, rather scout up here. Okay, you can do that. Use your units to the fullest. Moonshield, however, is probably pretty sure that over there is no X-Wing, now that he sees the blob in mid, and as soon as he sees them here, he is building up the asteroid mining facility. Yeah. It's something you should do, like just count how many X-Wings are there, and when you see them, you will know with some certainty whether this is the whole blob or whether it's not. Down there, Moonshield, maybe a slight mistake, is not prioritizing damaging the enemy base mine. He thinks he's got this in the bag and is not using more fighters, which will give Ormylar the opportunity to call in more X-Wings himself. So, there they are. It's... I wouldn't say it's scary for Moonshield to let that happen down there, just because he's pretty much ahead in the number of TIE fighters on the map. But again, it's something you should probably not let the rebel player do, because there is like a critical mass of units. If the rebel player gets 2 strong enough armies of X-Wings, that's when games can be really hard as an Empire player. Yeah, building the second army up here, using the first to attack the enemy mine down there, while the Pirate Dog is firmly in the hands of Moonshield, as well as the base mine top right, and the middle mine and the turret. It is a laser defense satellite, just trying to do as much damage to attacking X-Wings as he possibly can, sacrificing the view range from the missile turret for more firepower here. Okay, and now he says, screw it, they are X-Wings, let's destroy them with our superior numbers, because that's what the Empire does. Bottom right corner, Ormylar managed to destroy the mine and is now moving over to the top side of the map, where he is pretty sure that there is a mine. And en passant, he can just check for the Pirate Dog, maybe cancel something being built there. Something we haven't seen up until now is Pirate Fighters or IPVs. Moonshield could have built them already. Maybe he's saving up for the tech. We'll probably see in a minute. Yeah. And here you can see what the TIE Fighter blob has done to the poor X-Wings. They were like 4 or 5 squadrons, and now there's 2 plus 1. I mean, 1 plus 1 unit. So it's not a lot. Again, Moonshield just waiting in the fog of war. I don't think the X-Wings clipped it. But now he's understood the strategy that Moonshield is doing and is engaging here. But Moonshield used the time to build more TIE Fighters and just counter it. A bit of a playing safe here by Moonshield, not attacking the enemy station or something, just moving along the map, building more mines, like up here in the top right corner of the map. Yeah. And just denying Ormylar any chance to build a mine. Ormylar, you can see it here again, is trying to gain control over some part of the map, but there's always one TIE fighter who's just casually strolling there like, hey, you want to build something there? Ah, I guess not. Moment of silence for the fleeing X-Wings. Yeah, it's really hard, because you kind of have to play hit and run with your X-Wings, can't let them get too close to TIE fighters. And with 2 mines under control and a 3rd mine knowingly not in the rebel hands, Moonshield is now finally ready to attack the enemy station with all his TIE fighters. Again, going for the supply dock first, economic damage about to be done. And here we even see Pirate Fighters. Of course, Pirate Fighters having more DPS than TIE Fighters, on top of their ability to use shields. Pirate Fighters not being the only thing that he builds, there's also the IPV, just general area denial. While Ormylar is trying to micro his X-Wings to attack it, but Moonshield got wind of it and just turned around. Yeah, map is now firmly in control of Moonshield. Base being attacked. Ormy put all of his money into X-Wings, so the game looks to be over again. I mean, there's a slim chance that Ormylar saved somehow enough money to do a tech up. But honestly, I don't see it right now. Always ready for a surprise, of course. X-Wings, as you can see, are surprisingly strong against the hull of IPV units. GG. But of course, when attacking from the front, they just get shredded. GG is being called 2-0 for the Moonshield. Shielding the moon, like he's supposed to do. Yeah, we should probably play Endor, so that he can probably shield the moon, right? Yeah, let's update the scores. And this is a 2-0 for Moonshield. Yeah, interesting, because what we've seen now is a bit of a repeat of some of the earlier matches between those rather equally matched players in terms of their skill, where map choosing and faction choosing is very important, and even where in that like skill bracket, it's sometimes the case that Rebel is just that tad harder to play, that it's that tad easier to do a mistake and not be as efficient as you could be, that there's a slight advantage for the Empire player from the get-go. Yeah, so we have 2 Empire wins, 2 Moonshield wins, and let's see what they switch up for the draft for their 3rd game. Hop over to spectator role. Here we go. Everything else seems in order. Endor. Moonshield actually picks the map that Ormylar won all of his games on, in Endor, and Ormylar finally understood that he should switch things up and is picking Empire. Okay. Endor and Empire. Just taking my notes here. What is there to say about Endor that we haven't already said on previous streams? This map not only, I mean, we always talk about the Iron Nebula in the middle, blah blah, but this map also is very interesting because it's one of the few maps that is so small that Empire actually can reliably reach enemy mines very early in their build-up time. Of course, this holds for Rebel 2 on this map, like even earlier than somewhere else or someplace else on another map, which makes for an interesting dynamic where there's often situations where soon after the start of the game, no player has any mines left, and it's all about maneuvering and like reading the map movements of your opponent. I'm totally hoping for one of those games because I love to see those. They are really tense and exciting. So fingers crossed to get one of those. 2-0 Moonshield. Can Ormylar claw his way back now that he's playing Empire? Let's find out at the EAW Space Cup. Let's watch the boy. Ormylar surging on Empire, moving up to his base mine and moving straight to the other side of the map, it seems like. While Moonshield is opting to go for the middle, maybe to build the turret here, and is building his base mine. It'll be interesting to see, look at the minimap where the players call in their first units. We have the second mine here for Ormylar, and probably for Moonshield the same thing. Should come up right about now. Moonshield managed to deny this one. Good move here with the pathing he took, and is able to build a laser defense satellite turret up there. He's now calling in his first X-Wing over there, but Ormylar already is on the way. However, Ormylar built this one, which got seen by Moonshield, and those 2 X-Wings should be able to destroy it in the second pass. Yeah. Another thing Ormylar did, or rather did not, is build a defense turret here, which makes it rather cost-free to attack it by the Rebel player. Okay, interesting. So, as I said before, we have the situation where mines are being built up, are being attacked at the same time. Will they get it? No. Oh, interesting. Okay, all mines are being attacked. All mines should be done in a couple of moments. Here's that one. And the middle is being protected by the Rebel defense satellite built by Moonshield. no further X-Wings being called in anywhere on the map, if I see that right. Yeah, this poor guy is trying to evade there. So what is Moonshield doing? There's another X-Wing, okay. Doing nothing, but I mean, that's just what they do something. Sometimes. And there we go. 0 mines for the Empire player, and soon to follow 0 mines for the other player. Now Moonshield opted to go for a dogfight here, which I think is in his disadvantage just from numbers. And he has the S-foils open. Okay, interesting. Moon is again hiding one of his units up there, and he probably should start evading the enemy TIE fighters. He has, of course, the advantage of the turret in the middle. Micro swerving there, good move. Yeah, and is luring the enemy fighters to the turret, where they now try to move away from. Now let's see whether Moonshield manages to spot this one being built. Doesn't look like he's looking right now. This is costly. Every X-Wing, in fact, is 100 credits. Just, wow, 100. Okay, now he's checking, and he's building the middle mine. It's the one that is best defended, so why not? Just calling in more X-Wings there. Ormylar actually didn't check. Oh, he doesn't check the middle. He would have enough TIE fighters to just destroy it, but it seems like it's being completed. Good sneaky move by Moonshield there, while he's still attacking the enemy mine there. So, a good, even game. A few TIE fighters are gonna be lost here, but the mine should be destroyed anyway. But still, I mean, that's kinda all that Moonshield really needs, is destroy TIE fighters to slowly gain back more map control. And above all, destroy those pesky enemy mines. Oh, we have a circling X-Wing, and it is being microed. Is this enough? No, sadly. While Ormylar has accumulated enough money to build it down there, and Moonshield did the same mirror-wise. These players are so even, I don't even know. They just do the same thing at the same time all the time. Really nice to see. Yeah, Ormylar is saying, screw this, I'm not gonna lose all these units, rather gonna check the enemy mine down there. So it's probably lost money for Moonshield there. He's of course now moving down there. Yeah. In my opinion, with that money he could have built 2 X-Wings, roughly, which would have been a better investment. Because this mine is not really something that the Empire player can build. So, if you deny it and build more X-Wings, that's usually the better thing to do. And he's building the next one. So it's a bit of a, I don't know what you want to call it, it's a bit of a, like, in Germany we call it Schnitzeljagd, and Jagd means hunt, and you all know what a Schnitzel is. Where you just go a-hunting from one point to the other. Yeah, Ormylar decided that he has enough units to just attack the turret and destroy it. Yeah, loses a few units there, but still has the higher unit count. And the next build-up, and the next build-up. Moonshield is at a bit of a disadvantage from just number of units, but he's a bit ahead. Is he? No, he's not. He really is behind in mines too, because this one will be destroyed too, and these X-Wings can't really go up there without being shot at by the station. Yeah, it looks like Moon is running ahead of Ormylar, but Ormylar is catching up slowly and surely. Because with that mine alive for so long, he can just build more and more TIE fighters. Mid is now open again. Seems to be slowly going into Ormylar's favor. If I need to pin it down to one thing, it's probably the first build-up of this mine, where if he had 2 more X-Wings, he could have used them to control the top side of the map, and not let Ormylar have this one. And would have probably even won the game pretty handily, actually. Just because of the fact he had the turret in the middle as well at that time. And with Ormylar not having a mine, Ormylar would never attack this the way he did. I guess. I mean, it's just my guess. I'm just the commentator here, right? Yeah, but Moon, again,